Story: The Sun or the Moon? Sunny Sun. Oh, it's so hard being the most important thing in the entire universe. I give light and I give life. It's such hard work. What would the world do without me? Moony Moon. Stop complaining, Sonny. You are not the only important one. I can do amazing things too. Sonny Sun. Really? You? I give the light and heat that everyone needs. Plants need me to survive. People and animals eat those plants. Moony, you are very sweet, but you are not nearly as useful as I am. Moony Moon. What do you think happens when you go away? I am the one who shines in the sky at night so that people can see. They love me so much that they even come and visit me. They haven't visited you. Sonny Sun. That's true. But what about the nights when you are only half your size? What about those dark nights when you are not even there? They can't trust you. That's why they wait for me to begin their day. Even the children don't come out to play if I'm not there. You are a creature of the dark, but I give them the brightest light. Moony Moon. It is good to brighten things up. I agree, but you also burn things, don't you? What about all the plants that shrivel up in the heat? What about the sunburn that people suffer? They love you for your warmth, but not for your scorching heat. Mr. Brightest, I am not as fierce as you are. I am calm and people love me for my beauty. Sonny Sun. What is the use of calm and beauty if you can give only the dimmest light? Moony Moon. That's what they need after your fierce rays. We are all different and important in our own ways. You should look around, Sonny boy, and see that others are also important. You are very proud. Sonny Sun. Sorry, Moony, I was being boastful. You have always been humble. I love taking care of the earth, but I could never do any of this without you. You are right, we are both important. Story: Pink and Gia. Gia was 4 and loved animals and birds. She had a dog called Rusi. One day, they were chasing each other in the garden when Gia noticed a little bird in a bush. "Hi there, birdie," she said. The bird began to flap its wings as if it was trying hard to fly but was not able to. "What's the matter, birdie? Are you hurt?" she asked. The little bird looked up at Gia with sad, beady eyes. Gia kneeled and gently picked it up in her hands. There was a big, nasty cut on its wing. Gia took the bird home. Her mother helped her put it in a shoebox filled with cotton and straw. Gia fed the bird every day, and her father helped her put ointment on the cut. The bird had a bright pink crest. Gia named it Pink. Slowly, Pink grew stronger and the cut on his wing healed. Gia would let him flutter about in the garden. He often sat on her shoulder or her hand. Russi was a little jealous of Pink at the beginning, but soon they two became friends. Pink would perch on Russi's back and talk to him in his strange bird language. After sunset, Pink went to his room. A big basket that had replaced the shoebox. One morning, Gia woke up and couldn't find Pink anywhere. She went to the garden. She looked among the shrubs and bushes, calling out Pink's name. There were many birds hopping, fluttering, pecking, and chirping all around. But Pink was nowhere. Gia came back home feeling sad. Her parents told her that Pink had gone back to his real home in the trees. 4 years later, it was Gia's 8th birthday. Her uncle in Japan had given her a big kite as a gift. She rushed to the garden to fly it. As she struggled to let the kite fly, the string got stuck on a branch of a tree. She was afraid to pull it hard, since that could tear the beautiful kite. Suddenly, something swooped down and freed the string. The kite soared up into the sky. Gia saw the big, strong bird with the pink crest that went and sat on a bush, the same bush where she had found baby Pink 4 years ago. Pink, said Gia. Pink replied in his bird language and flew away. Many years later, Gia went on to become a veterinarian. Every time she looked out the window of her clinic while taking care of sick dogs, cats, hamsters, and parrots, she saw many pink crested birds in a tree nearby, chattering in their strange bird language. She liked to think that one of them was Pink. Story: The Boy and the Rabbit. One evening, when the boy was going to bed, he couldn't find the china dog that always slept with him. Nana was in a hurry, so she simply looked about her and, seeing that the toy cupboard door stood open, she dragged the rabbit out by one ear and put him into the boy's arms. That night, and for many nights after, the velveteen rabbit slept in the boy's bed. At first, he found it rather uncomfortable, for the boy hugged him very tight, and sometimes he rolled over on him, and sometimes he pushed him so far under the pillow that the rabbit could scarcely breathe. But very soon he grew to like it, for the boy used to talk to him and made nice tunnels for him under the bedclothes that he said were like the burrows that real rabbits lived in. And when the boy dropped off to sleep, the rabbit would snuggle down close under his little warm chin and dream, with the boy's hands clasped close round him all night long. And so time went on, and the little rabbit was very happy. So happy that he never noticed how his beautiful velveteen fur was getting shabbier and shabbier, and all the pink rubbed off his nose where the boy had kissed him. Spring came, and they had long days in the garden, for wherever the boy went, the rabbit went too. And once, when the boy was called away suddenly to go out to tea, the rabbit was left out in the lawn until long after dusk, and Nana had to come and look for him with the candle because the boy couldn't go to sleep without him. "You must have your old bunny," she said. "Fancy all that fuss for a toy." Give me my bunny, said the boy. You must not say that. He isn't a toy. He is real. When the little rabbit heard that, he was happy. He was real. The boy himself had said it. Story: The Blue Kite. One day, Zippy, the blue kite, is flying high in the sky. Some birds fly past her. Zippy hears them talking. The kites in China are of such bright colors. You can see them from far away, says a duck. And they have so many different shapes, adds a goose. Chinese kites are the best. Zippy looks at herself. She is just a square blue kite. The kites in China must be so much better than me, she thinks. I must see them. The next morning, Zippy takes off for China. The wise old owl sitting in the pine tree tells her how to get there. China is far, my dear. Fly east until you see the sea of grey whales, says the owl. Zippy flies for many days and many nights. She flies over tall mountains and thick forests. Zippy is finally flying over a deep blue sea. She sees something huge and grey in the water. It is a grey whale. Zippy knows she is now close to China. She sees the Great Wall of China winding over mountains and valleys. She sees giant pandas climbing tall bamboo trees. She is flying over China. Soon Zippy begins to see many colorful shapes in the sky. The kites in China really do look amazing. A huge yellow and red dragon kite flies towards Zippy. Behind her is a colorful butterfly kite. Kites of many different shapes and colors are soon flying all around Zippy. But why are they all looking at her? You look so beautiful, blue kite, says the dragon kite. I wish I had a simple shape like you. You look so pretty, says the butterfly kite. The other kites agree. They all admire Zippy. Zippy looks at herself. She is a lovely blue like the deep blue sea. Her square shape is simple, but it makes her look elegant. And Zippy is strong too. She can fly all the way to China. Zippy feels proud of herself. The kites in China are amazing, but she is amazing too. Story: The Mole Meets the Water Rat. One day, Mole was sitting on the grass by a river. He looked across to the other side. A dark hole in the bank opposite, just above the water's edge, caught his eye. Dreamily, he started thinking what a nice, snug home it would make for some small animal. As he gazed, something bright seemed to twinkle in the hole. It vanished and twinkled once more like a tiny star. Then, as he looked, a small face appeared. A little brown face with whiskers. A round face with the same twinkle in its eye that had first caught his attention. It was a water rat. The two animals stood and looked at each other carefully. "Hullo, Mole," said the water rat. "Hullo, Rat," said the mole. "Would you like to come over?" asked the rat. Oh, but how would I get there? Asked the mole. He was still new to the river and riverside life. The rat said nothing, but bent down and untied a rope and hauled on it. He stepped lightly into a little boat, which the mole had not noticed. It was just the right size for two animals. The rat rowed smartly across. Then he held up his paw as the mole stepped down. "Lean on that," he said. The mole, to his surprise and joy, found himself being rowed across the river in a real boat. "This is a wonderful day," said he. "I have never been in a boat in all my life." "What?" cried the rat, open mouthed. "Never been in a boat? My goodness, what have you been doing then?" "Well, I have just arrived here at the river," said the mole shyly. "Believe me, my young friend, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, half so much fun as simply messing about in boats." "Look out, rat!" cried the mole suddenly. It was too late. The boat hit the bank. The rat lay on his back at the bottom of the boat, his heels in the air. He picked himself up with a laugh. "Look here," he said. "If you really have nothing else to do this morning, let's go down the river together and make a day of it." The mole waggled his toes with joy. "What a day I am having," he said. "Let us start at once." Play. Seema is missing. Seema is sitting at her study table trying to study. There are books all around her. Seema. "Oh no, there are only 2 more days before the big history exam." The door opens. Grandma comes in with a tin of laddus. Grandma. "Seema, do you want a laddu?" Seema. "Thanks, Grandma, but you just gave me one 5 minutes ago." Grandma. "Okay, ask me if you want more." Grandma leaves. Seema. "I have finished 2 chapters so far. That means..." The door opens and 2 children run into the room. Child 1 hides under the bed. Child 2 doesn't know where to hide. Child 2. "Help me hide." Seema. "I'm trying to study." Child 2. "Shh, you'll give us away." Child 2 looks around and gets into the cupboard, throwing out Seema's clothes. Seema. "What? Look, you can't do that." The door opens and Seema's aunt comes in. Aunt. "Seema, what are you doing here? Your cousin is getting married and everyone is downstairs." Seema. "I have exams, Auntie, and nobody is letting me study." Aunt. "Oh, well, get on with it then. You can come down later." The door opens and Grandma comes in. Grandma. "Seema, do you want a laddu?" Seema. "No, thanks, Grandma." Seema puts her hands over her ears. The 2 children crawl out of their hiding places. Child 1. "We too. Thanks, Grandma." Seema is now sitting in the living room with her books. Uncle. "Hello, Seema. How's school going?" Seema. Fine, uncle. I'm trying to study. Uncle. But the party is going to begin soon. Aren't you going to get ready? Seema. I. Seema's mother comes in. Mother. Seema, why on earth is your room in such a mess? Seema. I didn't do it. Seema's father comes in talking on the phone. Father. So, the food will be here at 4 o'clock, right? Okay, just call to confirm. Bye. Father. To Seema. Why do you look so grumpy? He doesn't wait for an answer. Everyone starts talking. Seema gets up and starts walking to the door. Seema. To her mother. I'm going to find a quiet place to study. Mother. Not really listening. Okay. Seema's aunt is searching for Seema in the living room. Aunt. Seema, where are you? Mother. What happened? Aunt. Have you seen Seema? I wanted to give her these bangles to wear for the party. Mother. I don't know where she is. Seema, where are you? Uncle and the two children come into the room. Uncle. Why are you shouting? Aunt. Seema is missing. Have any of you seen her? The two children shake their heads. Grandma comes in. Grandma. Does anyone want more laddus? Mother. Seema's missing. Father. Coming in. The bride and the groom are on their way. What happened? Why is everyone shouting? Two children. Together. Seema's missing. Everyone starts calling out Seema's name and searching for her. Still in the living room, the whole family is present. The doorbell rings. Grandma. Must be Seema. She opens the door. It's the food delivery man. Grandma. Oh no. Just put all the food on the table in the garden for now. The man nods, takes the money and leaves. Mother. We should call the police. Father. I have already done that. Child 2. Has she been kidnapped? Child 1. So exciting. Aunt. Shh. The doorbell rings again. Grandma. Must be the police. She opens the door and it's Seema. She's eating a dhokla. Still in the living room. Mother. Seema, where on earth were you? Seema. In the garden. I couldn't study inside, so I went there. Father. We have been shouting for you. Didn't you hear us? Seema. I fell asleep. I woke up when I heard someone putting things on the table next to me. Everyone laughs. The doorbell rings again. Uncle. Who could it be now? He opens the door. It's a police officer. Policeman. Good afternoon. What is the problem here? Grandma. Nothing. We were just worried about Seema. Do you want a laddu? Everyone sits in the living room and eats the ladoos, including the police officer.